Hi, and Happy New Year! As I'm recording this, it is currently the morning of January 1st, 2023, and I'm making a projects video. You may remember January last year, I started recording a video that went over the course of my holiday break where I did a couple of projects around the house, most of them retro gaming related. Probably the biggest of which is that I built a little drawer for my electronics desk, which was pretty fun, it's still operating, still going, hasn't fallen to bits, so that's pretty cool. Not doing any woodwork this year, but I do have a project in mind that requires a fair amount of 3D printing, so I thought it'd be perfect to do over this year's holiday break, and it involves this. Before we get into that, I just want to quickly add that I am sorry that my release schedule has been a bit all over the place over the months of November and December. That Game & Watch project really killed me. And I just needed a bit of a break after that. Just needed to, refresh myself. I do have about 3 different projects on the go at the moment. Most of them very technical. Well, not very technical, but technical in nature. And they have all run into their own issues, which is par for the course, but gradually I am overcoming and finding solutions to these problems, and they'll eventually translate into videos. So one of which is in the scripting stage, so that should be out in the next couple of days. It might even be out before this video, so the timeline may not make much sense. This may not be the first video of the year. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about this. So my girlfriend found this for me in Kmart, and she found it on the the cheap returns table, I guess, because there is a bit of a scratch here. I'll move the camera in a second, we'll have a closer look. But basically, it's a display case for Lego. So yeah, you know what? I'm just going to change the camera now, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. I just realized that throughout the course of that intro, I didn't actually explain what I wanted to use this display case for, so I better make a good thumbnail so everyone's clued in from the start. But I want to display all my handhelds game cartridges. Got a few different cartridges from different systems. There's a Lynx, a few others. And yeah, that's pretty much the reason why my partner bought this. She found it very cheap. It was only like $20, but it just runs on a couple of AA batteries. And I think it's pretty neat, but obviously it's used for displaying Lego, like I said. So it's all divided up by these slats, let's call them, that slide in. And you'd put your figurines and whatnot, but I don't collect Lego, and this is not really ideal for displaying game cartridges. They kind of sit in there, but I don't know, it's a bit finicky. You can't put it on top of this bit because it slips around. So the idea is I'm going to replace all these with a 3D printed design of my own. And it's basically going to be a trench that runs along. It's going to be on an angle, so the cartridges can lean back a little bit and, have a good time. And they're all just going to line up, the trenches, it's all going to line up. So it's going to be quite a bit of 3D printing, which is why it's a holiday project. I'm sitting around at home for the next 9 days, so I think that will be, an ideal time to do it. And yeah, I'm sort of stuttering over my words now. This is the 4th time I've tried to film this. The words just aren't really coming out of my mouth in a uniform fashion. But this is technically a Sunday Quickies video, so yeah, there's 0 production, 0 script, and a butt ton of 3D printing it will hopefully be. So yeah, I'm going to stop jabbering now. Let's hop on the computer and have a look at the design I've made. All right, we're now in the other room where the computer is, and I've been busy in Blender. So this is sort of a first attempt, I guess you could say. I'm not exactly expecting to get it first go, but this is what I've come up with. I've tried to use as little material as possible because I have to print 25 of these ultimately at the end of the day. But I've based them around sort of like Game Gear cartridges because they seem to sort of be the biggest and the thickest. Pretty comparable in size to Game Boy cartridges, at least as far as thickness goes. The Lynx game should be easy. They're, amphetamine skinny, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. But yeah, it's very basic, just a bunch of cubes, and I've just used Boolean to, carve out a bit of a shape there for them to sit back for some maxing relaxing. But here it is in Cura, and if we slice that, we're looking at about an hour and 8 minutes. I usually find Cura to be pretty spot on with its time predictions. So yeah, let's bung that into my 3D printer and I'm gonna go have some lunch. Alright, and she's done. Let's have a look. Let's do a test of the cartridge. Nice. Maybe we could have a little bit more of a lean. I guess that's okay. Yeah, well, let's see how well it fits in the case itself. All right, first initial test. Oh, oh no! It appears I've made a critical mistake in allowing what I like to call a trench to go all the way up to the end, because where it slots in is like a T-shaped, so it's getting blocked by that. Yeah. So I'll need to either model it so it goes around that little trench, or just make it shorter so it can slide in. Told you I wouldn't do it the first time, but no, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, a couple of hours later, and I'm back with a new version. So basically the biggest changes here is the fact that I raised up the angled trench, because before it was basically in line with the bottom of this T-molding, which didn't really make sense since I wanted all of them to line up. So I've brought it up above the T-molding, and additionally have, if that will focus, not really ideal lighting in here, but you can sort of see there that I've created a like a cutout for the T-molding, basically. So without further ado, let's see if it fits. Nice. Let's finish it off. Yeah, it'll look something like that. Now I just need to print 24 more of those, which is going to take a while. Since this new revision requires printing supports, since it has those raised bits in the cutouts, this took something like an hour and 45 minutes to print. So I sort of foresaw that, so that's exactly the reason why I'm doing this during my holiday break. That 3D printer is going to get a workout over the next week. So I'm already printing the second one. I did cheat a bit, I did actually try it out before filming, sorry. Number 2 is printing right now, and yeah, I'll get back to you whenever the rest have been printed. Bye. Oh man, I think I trimmed my mustache too much. Anyway, what has been a simple jump cut for you has been 5 days for me. I knew the 3D printing would take a while, and it totally did. It's been running non-stop while I've been home, and the house sounds oddly quiet now that it's not running. Anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. As we can see here, I printed out 25 of those slats, modules, whatever you want to call them, and I think the cartridges look quite good, almost as if it was made for the case in a way, and not little Lego figurines. Wasn't able to fit everything in there. There is an excess of my collection. There's no Game Boy Color games in there at all, for instance. There's a few loose Game Boy games, and there's a few odd things here and there, like my sole Neo Geo Pocket Color game, which is Puzzle Bobble Mini, if you're wondering. So, yeah, like I said, has majority of the Game Boy games in there, has all of my Game Gear games and all of my Lynx games in there as well. I think those cartridges just look the best. That's why I put them in there. You know, like I could have put some Game Boy Advance cartridges in there, but I don't know, they're just pretty small. These are all the right height, but they all just sort of fit there and look nice. So overall, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And with that, we introduced Retro Game On into 2023. So I was totally correct in my assumption that this wouldn't actually be the first video released this year. The Pico Memcard Plus video beat that. But that was pretty much ready to go as I was filming the first shots for this video. But I've been working on projects this entire holiday period. Unfortunately, my holidays are nearly done. I've only got a couple of days left. But I can think of at least 2 projects on the go at the moment, one of which I'll be working straight after, you know, turning off the record button. And there is another project which will require a lot of components and soldering and even some Vero board as well. So I've bought all the parts for that. That's all just sitting on my electronics desk ready to go. But otherwise, I want to thank you for a great year last year. You know, hitting 10,000 subscribers was a huge milestone. As of filming, I'm nearly up to 11,000. There's, you know, I think I need like 60 or 70 more subscribers. So hopefully that'll be in the next month or so. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking. Thanks for disliking. Thanks for joining. For those of you who have, just a little quick interjection. I do have the membership program running on YouTube. So a couple of you have signed up, and that's really awesome. I really do appreciate the support. A couple of dollars a month really does help the channel because none of this is free. I don't mind spending the money, but it would be good to have a bit of help, considering, I do release the videos for free for everyone to watch. And, if you don't have the means to do it, you can definitely support the channel by, sharing videos, liking, commenting. It all helps the algorithm, makes YouTube, show the videos to more faces, because I definitely have had a drop in algorithm aided views this last year. So that kind of sucks, but, a bit out of my hands, really. But yeah, Happy New Year, Happy Holiday Season, Merry Christmas, whatever else you happen to celebrate. And yeah, I'm going to stop saying thank you now and turn off the damn camera.